What's going on, guys? Crypto Renegade here, and in today's video we are going to be doing a hardware wallet comparison of the Ellipal Titan in my left hand versus the new Keystone Pro hardware wallet in my right hand. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this one. Alright guys, welcome back. So before I jump into the content, I just want to let you know I have my free ebook on the 7 best ways to secure your crypto, updated for 2021. It's in the description. It will also be pinned in the comments. So in this video, I wanted to do a hardware wallet comparison of the Ellipal Titan, which I've done several videos on before, and on my right is the brand new Keystone Pro. Now, if you haven't seen the previous video, a Keystone Pro was formerly Kobo Vault Pro, and it's now been rebranded under new management. That's why it looks very similar to the Kobo Vault Pro, and I'm going to touch on some of the key differences. As always, we're going to touch on the 3 categories that I find most important. First, we're going to look at the design, security, and form factor of each device. Secondly, we're going to look at the coin support of each device and if there's any unique coins and or staking that are only available on one of these 2 wallets. And then third and final category will be the price and which one of these I would choose if I could only choose one. I'm actually going to start here with the Keystone, and on the Keystone right here, I want to point out that this is very similar to the Kobo Vault Pro. Now, I'll link a video above here that explains the transition of Kobo Vault Pro to the Keystone Pro. There's a lot of similarities. There is a few physical differences, but we'll touch on the main things here. Now, this is, of course, an air-gapped hardware wallet. It also has a fingerprint authenticator here where you can actually unlock and sign transactions with your fingerprint. It also allows for multi-sig, so you can have multiple fingerprints required in order to sign or authorize a transaction. And then here you also have the camera, which is used for scanning QR codes. There is no wireless connectivity, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no NFC, there's no Bluetooth, there's no cellular. This is 100% air-gapped. Another key difference here also on the design is that there is now an SD card slot on the outside of the device, where formerly it was underneath the battery pack on the former Kobo Vault Pro. So that just makes it a little bit easier to access and a little bit more transparent, which I like. It's also very thin, you know, if you compare it to this Ellipal Titan here. It's a little bit thicker, but also it's still a very thin device. They're both very similar in size as well. They're both 4-inch screen displays. And I wanted to point out here that as far as the design and the overall security on this one is that this also, it works with an iOS or Android app for your key management, for your managing of the portfolio. And you basically scan your phone on this device and vice versa to sign and authorize a transaction with 2-way QR code transmission. As you can see here, there's an option here for you to scan the QR code. And there's a 3 dots here where you can sync your only wallets from your phone onto here, and then you can also add or remove wallets. There is an option here under settings where you can choose fingerprint settings. You can set an optional pattern lock for extra authentication. You can also set a specific password so that if you want to force a password and a thumbprint or fingerprint in order to sign a transaction, you can do that as well. So there are a lot of different design and security features here. The other thing that I wanted to point out on this particular device is that because it's air-gapped, it also has an option that comes with it, a actual separate battery pack where you can put 4 AAA batteries inside. It creates a little bump here, but that's if you want to be completely off the grid, if you want to completely not rely on any sort of charging or anything like that, you do have an option to do that, whereas with the Ellipal Titan, you do not have that option. The other thing that I wanted to point out here is that on the overall security and the overall design, that everything here is done with specific QR codes. So you will scan the QR code if you, for instance, if you want to receive Bitcoin, you just use your phone, scan this QR code, and it will generate directly on the device. You can also set up multiple signatures and you can set up multiple addresses within each wallet. So that's the overall design, security, and form factor. Fully flat display. It's very light. As far as the device itself, it's basically a hardened plastic here, which is a matte texture. and it seems very durable. Obviously, it's not going to withstand a drop test, but the actual physical form of the device, it fits nice in the hand, and it gives you the full screen display to generate the QR code, which is very useful for your user experience. And so that's the design, security, and form factor on the Keystone Pro. Again, fingerprint authentication and biometric authentication is one of the key selling points on this particular device. So as you can see on the Ellipal Titan here, this is a little bit more of a rugged form factor. It also is an air gap device, same as the Keystone, and it has a camera module here for scanning the QR codes. You can also do the same thing where if you just click the receive button, it generates a QR code you can receive on the screen as well. Basically, it's just the same 4-inch full screen device, and it manages your coins and gives you an option to sign as well. There is an option here for you to connect it to the app, and you can add and remove different coins as you see fit. And then if you click the plus sign, you can simply toggle on or off whichever coins that you want on this as well. Essentially, you can set up a passcode or a pattern as well to unlock the device. This thing is built like a brick, so if you've seen my other videos, it's completely air gap. There's no connection, there's no ports, there's no SD card slot. This thing is full metal, and it's meant to withstand drops. It's a very rugged option. And then there's just a single button here for turning it on. Just like on this one, there's only a single button for activating it on the top as well. So there actually is a magnetic puck that comes here, and that's for updating the firmware. That's also for charging the device. So as far as the overall design, it's a little bit thinner. I do like the form factor of this Ellipal Titan. It's very rugged. It has a self-destruct mechanism, same as this as well. If anyone tries to access the internal chips, it will self-destruct and they won't be able to extract the private keys as well. This one is just a little bit of a different design, but they both have a 4-inch screen. And so I just wanted to point that out, that these devices honestly are very similar in a lot of ways. There's just some minor differences. So let's touch real quick on the coin support. On the Keystone Pro, I want to point out before I go over the initial coin support is that one, there are several coins that are currently in development, as well as staking that's being developed on the Keystone Pro. For example, you have your basic Bitcoin, you have Ethereum with all ERC20 tokens, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, newly added Polkadot, and there's also Kusama coming, and you can actually stake your Polkadot here as well. Litecoin, Tron, XRP, and a few others. This also does integrate directly with DeFi, which means that you can use Metamask wirelessly on your computer, and you can utilize things like Uniswap and things of that nature for your ERC20 tokens, and you can receive it directly here on your Ethereum address. So as far as coin support, this is just gonna have basically right now just your basic 10 native apps roughly of coins, and then staking for Polkadot with some new coins being added in the very near future. But this does have a DeFi option, whereas the Ellipal Titan does not currently. So in terms of functionality, in terms of staking, this is the only one that allows DeFi at the time being. But as you can see on the screen here, it's just your basic coin support. That's for the Keystone Pro. Coin support on the Ellipal Titan, they're always adding new coins. You got your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, Digibyte, CMT, XLM. You also have Doge on this one if you like your Doge. You can also add in different tokens for EOS tokens. If you can also add in your Tron or TRX tokens. And then you also have a lot more random native applications as well. VeChain, you have Atom Cosmos, which can be staked. You can have XTZ Tezos, which can be staked. Kusama can be staked. Polkadot, it has Theta, BNB, and so on. And you can always add more coins that sync between your iOS app or Android app and the phone itself. So when it comes to the actual coin support and the actual functionality of staking, I'm gonna have to say, unfortunately, that the Ellipal Titan does win in this particular category. So let's wrap this up and kind of finalize this on the final price and which one of these devices I would choose if I could only choose one. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link in the description below for both of these devices. Make sure to use the link because it's always updated with the best discounts and current discounts at any given time, promos, anything like that. So just make sure to use that link. But I'm going to give you the standard price just so you know what it is, but always check the link to see if there's a better deal or promo going on. For the price on the Keystone Pro here, standard full price is $169. Again, there are typically a lot of sales and promos. And for instance, if you happen to own a Kobo Vault Pro, which is being discontinued. It will still actually function and it will maintain what works, but there isn't going to be any other future development or updates. If you decide that you want to buy a Keystone Pro, you can get 50% off, and I'll link the details in the description down below for the Keystone Pro. You can also get the Keystone Essential, which removes the thumb or fingerprint sensor and only has the AAA battery pack. That's $119, or you have the Ultimate version, which is $479, which includes a lot of extra features, rugged casing and shell, and so on and so forth. But this one's $169. The Ellipal Titan, the standard full price on this device is $178. However, there are typically a lot of promos going on. So again, check the links down below in the description, and there's a lot of bundles as well. As far as the overall design and form factor, like I said, $178 in my left hand, $169 in my right hand. They're very, very similar because these are sort of your mid to upper tier devices. Ultimately, at this exact time of shooting this video, if I could only choose one, I would have to say I would go with the Ellipal Titan, only because of the unique coin support that it has. With that being said, as soon as the new coins and staking are added to the Keystone, I would actually probably prefer this one because of the new DeFi options that Keystone has. Also, there's gonna be Cardano added shortly, as well as Cardano staking on the Keystone, which is very nice. You also do, of course, have ADA and Cardano already on the Ellipal Titan. As you can see right here, there's no staking on it, but you can at least store your ADA on this device. In this particular round, as it currently stands, I would choose the Ellipal Titan just because of its larger coin support and its current functionality, and they're always adding more coins and tokens. That's gonna be it for today's video, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about either of these, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer it for you. And then I'm gonna go ahead and link my video right here in the top right corner of the Ellipal Titan versus the Kobo Vault Pro, which is a little bit more in-depth on the previous version of the Keystone. I will see you guys in that video. Crypto Renegade out.